I'm a Black American. I'm proud to be a Black American. I am proud of my race. I am proud of who I am.
He was a name that reshaped the very soul of music. A performer who conquered every stage he stepped on, whose voice, whose movements, and whose presence influenced entire generations. This is the story of Michael Jackson. The story of a child who rose from poverty to become the king of pop, yet paid one of the heaviest prices fame could demand. The year was 1958. In the industrial town of Gary, Indiana, inside a small, crowded home, a baby boy was born, Michael Joseph Jackson. He was the seventh of 10 children born to Joseph and Catherine Jackson. Money was always short, space was limited, but Catherine's heart was full of music. She played the piano, loved gospel harmonies, and encouraged her children to sing. From the age of 6, Michael showed signs of extraordinary talent. His sense of rhythm, his vocal strength, and his natural ability to move were unlike anything seen in a child his age. His father, Joseph Jackson, was strict, sometimes harsh, but his discipline turned those young children into a tight, rehearsed musical group. By 1964, the brothers had formed a group called the Jackson Five: Jackie, Tito, Marlon, Jermaine, and in the center stood little Michael, a boy who lit up the stage the moment the spotlight touched him. By the age of 11, he was performing with the confidence of a seasoned star. Between 1969 and 1972, the Jackson 5 produced 4 consecutive #1 hits: I Want You Back, A.B., The Love You Save, and I'll Be There. These songs did not just top charts. They announced the arrival of a new kind of musical energy. In 1975, the group signed with Epic Records, and soon after, Michael's solo path began to form. In 1979, he released Off the Wall. With tracks like Don't Stop Till You Get Enough and Rock With You, Michael proved that he was more than a member of a group. He was a complete artist on his own. His voice matured. His presence became electric. He was no longer just performing. He was transforming the stage. Then came 1982, the year that changed the history of music forever. Michael released Thriller. It became the best-selling album of all time. Songs like Billie Jean, Beat It, and of course Thriller, revolutionized the idea of what a music video could be. Thriller's extended video, with its storytelling, choreography, and cinematic touch, set a new standard for the entire industry. During this era, Michael introduced the world to the moonwalk, a move that defied logic and mesmerized millions. He had reached a level of fame no one had imagined possible. But the brighter the spotlight, the darker the shadows behind it. Michael's skin began to change color, and the media immediately accused him of trying to lighten his skin. The truth, however, was that he suffered from vitiligo, a rare skin condition that destroys pigmentation. Alongside this came rising criticism, pressure, and relentless media intrusion. In 1993, allegations involving children shook his world. Investigations followed, yet no conclusive evidence was found. Still, the damage to his reputation was immense. Public judgment, media frenzy, and emotional pain pushed him into deep loneliness. Even then, he continued to stand on stage, performing for millions, carrying the weight of the world in silence. In 1995, he released History, a powerful album that blended his past triumphs with new songs filled with messages of struggle, pain, and defiance. It was his voice telling his side of the story. Despite controversies, Michael's global influence did not fade. Crowds around the world gathered in thousands just to catch a glimpse of him. His legacy as a cultural force remained unshaken. Then came 2009, a year that brought both hope and tragedy. Michael began preparing for an extraordinary comeback tour titled This Is It. 50 shows, all scheduled in London, were sold out within hours. Fans believed this would mark his grand return to the stage. But behind the scenes, the reality was very different. Exhausting rehearsals, immense pressure, insomnia, and physical weakness were taking a toll on him. His personal doctor, Conrad Murray, began giving him a powerful anesthetic called propofol, a drug normally used only in hospitals, under strict monitoring. On the morning of June 25, 2009, the world stopped. News flashed across screens. Michael Jackson has died. At just 50 years old, the greatest pop entertainer of all time was gone. Investigations revealed that propofol, administered improperly and without proper equipment, caused his death. In 2011, Dr. Conrad Murray was convicted of involuntary manslaughter and sentenced to 4 years in prison. He served 2, but the case became a landmark example of medical negligence. Today, Michael Jackson is no longer physically among us, yet his presence remains everywhere. In music, in dance, in style, in culture. His influence stretches across continents and generations. Artists continue to draw inspiration from him. His performances are studied, imitated, celebrated. He is remembered as the King of Pop, a title that still belongs to him alone. He changed what it meant to perform, what it meant to entertain, and what it meant to be a global icon. Michael Jackson lived a life filled with brilliance, struggle, passion, and pain. He left behind a legacy larger than any one lifetime could contain. Legends do not disappear. They simply become part of the world's heartbeat, echoing through time, inspiring every generation that follows.